To wipe the tears from my eyes, I use cloth made by my grandmother's hands. I smell her scent. It reminds me of home, an island I have never been. It reminds me of home. My Cook Island grandmother came here when she was just 12 years old. She was sent here by her mother to send back money to the family. Not speaking any English, she ended up in a farming family in the Waiwhetū where she helped raise 3 children. She eventually learnt English, how to read and write, but this meant leaving many of her cultural traditions behind. Eventually she married my Pākehā grandfather, and they settled in Christchurch where he was from. They ran a business and raised 3 of their own children. Kia ora ana koutou katoa, my name is Oberg Humphries and I'm a second generation New Zealand born Cook Islander. When I was 17 years old, my grandmother died. She was the link, the driving force to who I felt I was as a Cook Islander, and my identity and belonging was all pushed towards her. And when she died, it was like the umbilical cord from me and my whenua had just ripped apart, and I didn't know what to do with myself. And so arts became something for me where I could put weight and explore myself, what it meant to be a Cook Islander, what it meant to be a New Zealand Pacific person, and fumble my way through it, and learn, and fall, and cry, and scream, and yell. Growing up in Christchurch, I was often the only brown person in the room. I was too white to be brown and too brown to be white. I do not speak Cook Islands Māori. The only information that I really got about my Cook Islands heritage was from books written by Pākehā men. And so when it came to who is it that I am, or how do I make this place in this world, in New Zealand, where I don't whakapapa back to, but feel very connected, where is it that I rest? Over the last couple of years, I've had the privilege of working with Canterbury Museum and their Pacific collection, getting items of their collection out to share with our Pacific community, people that feel just like me, that don't know where it is that they are, they don't have their language, they don't know their whakapapa. You know, I think about my Cook Islands heritage, I know back 2 generations, yet if you talk to me about my Norwegian side, I can go back to 1546. So I got this collection out, and it was the first time that many of these items had ever been out of their boxes. They've been here since the 50s, but they've never seen the light of day. I asked people to come in, and it was an emotional experience. Being in the room with these objects was like a mauri or the sense of mana that had never been given or lifted before. People came in, no words needed to be spoken. They cried, we were angry, we cried, we investigated. And from that, there was a real sense of people going, well, I feel so connected to this place now, knowing that these things that my ancestors made are in those 4 walls. In our central city, where we as Pacific do not feel welcome, we do not feel encouraged because we don't see ourselves in there. Yet knowing those things are in there now is like, wow, here we go. So my job is to get them out and keep getting them out until they're just out, and that becomes something that's just happening. But through this whole process of finding information is that people came in, and I was hoping to get some things, because I equally need that information. What is this object? Where does it come from? And people didn't know. But I think one thing that has really become poignant to me and this exploration of identity is that, well, I guess goes back to words that my grandmother had said many years ago. What do you mean you don't know where you came from? You know where you came from. No one tells you where you came from. No one tells you who you are. You know that. And so I think about that, and I think about where I put put my energy into and where we can go. And I ask you all to do this. Can you close your eyes and put your hand on your belly and breathe in and out. From your stomach is a cord that pushes past the person in front of you, out of the building, stretches the streets and in any direction to the moana. Your feet are propelled there and the ocean washes over your toes, going in and out. You stare to the big blue. That is your place. That is your tūranga waiwai. Because regardless of where you came, we have all travelled across it to be here today. Thank you.